We see you have brought the item. That is good. We are utterly pleased.
I have never met one like you before. Are you related to the Goatmen?
What? We hate those mannerless fleabags. Insolent, all of them, really. This is no time to be silly. The level of sparkling happiness and rainbows awaits you.
You mean the cow level?
No! There is no cow level. Now, excuse me, move along.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the level of sunshine, rainbows, and happiness. This is Whimsyshire.
Precious secret level. Ponies? No, no ponies. We are not bronies.
Get to the secret level with the rainbows. Come with me if you want to be cute. Ah, yes, welcome to Whimsyshire. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a video that is going to be pretty much a supplemental to this Witch Doctor playthrough. And as such, let's kind of quickly go over what did I find from Diablo, because I realized I didn't show you guys that. One, I got this wonderful dagger that I'm giving to my Templar. It's a little better than the item I have for my Witch Doctor, but seeing as how my item has intelligence, I'm going to stick with it. The other item I have are these wonderful rare gloves. With much more intelligence and with some vitality, I lose the attack speed, of course, but I have critical damage and critical hit chance. So, that will be fantastic. So, since this is a jaunt through the secret level, Whimsyshire, and I've kind of done that before in my preview of the secret level, I want to kind of use this as maybe something of a vlog, and kind of talk about what's been going on here with the channel briefly, and what to kind of expect. That's assuming that I don't die in the meantime. My goodness. I've already lost my gargantuan. Wow. I forgot how mean Whimsyshire is. This is equivalent to Act 4. So, yeah, they are tearing them apart. Maybe doing this on Monster Power 10 wasn't such a great idea. Anyway, content. Content should hopefully be picking up again. As the construction issue I had mentioned in previous videos is kind of resolved. I have a door in my room again, so background noises are no longer an issue. I don't have to worry about recording at specific times, really. So that's not a problem. It's made me quite happy for that to be done. The other thing, which is kind of a double-edged sword here, is my schedule. I am now moving back to a late-night schedule. When I first started doing these videos, I was on an overnight schedule, where I worked late. Pardon me. Pardon me on that one. I should really turn that off when I'm doing these. Anyway. So I work roughly around my time from 2:30 to 11 at night, so that is not bad for video recording, really, but what does it do for streaming? If you followed my stream at all, or perhaps you joined me because of my stream, you might notice I really haven't been streaming much lately. Well, that's the problem with having a late schedule. I could stream, and I've been thinking about picking it up again, but the problem is it'll probably be at really awkward times for most people at this point. So I'll see about that, and if I ever do something that where I stream, and if I think there's anything worth watching, I'll probably see about putting a kind of a highlight reel maybe on the channel. That should work. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty good run, I think. And what's... Oh, hello. If I'm lucky and get some pages of blacksmithing, I might be able to craft some gear for Nightmare before I get there. Technically, I have the items in my inventory. I could quite easily make them, but I'm trying not to boost this character too much, trying to use what I find to kind of, I guess, give some legitimacy to it, as that is kind of the challenge, right? Trying to play the game with the items that you find, and seeing how far you can get that way. You know, this is kind of a no auction house kind of character and build. Alright, so what's going to be happening soon with content is I am dying. That's what I'm doing. I'm dying. I am looking forward to starting a little bit of Torchlight 2. I've been kind of meaning to do that. I have the game now. I've got the poll up for which character will be playing through. And the first character looks like it's going to be the engineer, unless that changes here in the near future. I will probably be picking up Torchlight 2 before Path of Exile open beta hits, so that I can get something recorded. And then, of course, I do have Path of Exile, which I'll be doing, and the poll is still up on that, all the way up until open beta releases. So I'm looking forward to doing those. Those will be hopefully congruent here. I'm thinking of keeping the Witch Doctor going, but I'm going to probably change the format in which I do it. Instead of having absolutely everything recorded, I will try and keep it to relevant topics and things like that, and probably specific areas that I go through. This format has worked really well so far, because every single time I sit down to record, I've gained a level and had a build to talk about. And I think that's been the important part about this series, is having some kind of build, some kind of theory crafting to do, and it gives relevance to the videos. As you guys know, I've been trying to keep it fairly professional. Professional, right. But I have been trying to keep it fairly professional and keeping things basically about Diablo during the videos. I try not to have inane topics or anything stupid like that. I try and keep it to the point, and it's sometimes entertaining. I do goof around here a little bit sometimes, but most of the time I keep it to Diablo 3 topics, the builds at the time, or anything relevant regarding news about Diablo, things like that. So another little bit of news is that, as you may have seen from my Twitter and my Facebook accounts, is I'm looking into this Marvel superheroes game. And this is a Diablo-style game for the Marvel Universe, and it's looking pretty good. It's going to have MMO features in it, and I've just been looking at the gameplay features. It looks really good. Some of it looks a little rough around the edges, but it hasn't quite come out yet. So, and I haven't gotten into the closed beta, so I really have nothing to talk about there. And even if I was in the closed beta, it'd be under NDA, so I couldn't really say too much. But I've gone ahead and I've made a purchase. I've purchased the game. I have unlocked everything, and that wasn't an easy thing to do. I hope that there's interest in it, and that this will be worth the purchase. I planned on playing the game anyway, but I figured for content for my channel, for viewers out there, for you guys basically, I should go ahead and unlock everything so I have things to go over to talk to you guys about. And so honestly, what I'm going to do is ask you guys, if you follow it and you feel that it's worthwhile, please, for that series or any other series, if you so desire, please like, favorite, comment, anything you can to increase the visibility of these videos. Simply because I would like to at least try and somewhat break even there, while still providing some good content. I'm not out in this to really make a lot of money. I do this out of fun and trying to keep people informed. I enjoy doing this, but I would like to be able to afford to keep doing this, so that is all I would ask you. I'm not going to sit here and pander for donations or anything like that. No, I just ask that if you like the content, then by all means help keep it visible on the internet, on YouTube. That's all I can really ask, and it is much appreciated if you do. So I'll be looking forward to that. What I think I'm going to do is put a poll up with all the characters in the game and kind of get a popularity poll going of which Marvel characters people would like to see, and then have those be the ones that I start coverage on first. So look forward to that. It'll probably show up on my Facebook page if I can figure out how to get the poll to work the way I want. I'd like to make it so that people can vote for more than one character. Currently the polls I have up only have one option, and at one time I was able to get multiple options to work. I just have to kind of futz with it. I'll get it to work, hopefully. If not, well then, choose wisely. So highly looking forward to that. Now that we've gone over that's pretty much everything that's kind of pertaining to me and this channel. What I'd like to do is talk about something Diablo related. Oh, gasp, surprise and alarm, right? So, the recent news. What's the big thing? Well, the big news is that Jay Wilson has left the Diablo 3 team. He is stepping down. He is moving on. So, this does not mean that Jay Wilson was fired. No, he still works within Blizzard. He is moving on to another project. Nor was he forcibly removed. This was a choice that he decided to make to move on to additional projects. So, this is obviously big news to Diablo, and something a lot of people will quite honestly probably celebrate, as there have been very controversial decisions regarding Diablo 3. Now, I for one don't feel one way or the other, I'll be honest with you, because I really have no animosity to Jay Wilson. There have been definitely some questionable decisions made regarding Diablo 3's inception and subsequent updates, for sure. I mean, there is... I've already mentioned that there were things that I've been unhappy with recently. I've been very patient about other things that have happened before. I'm honestly quite upset about the whole PvP thing. Even though I don't PvP at all, I have been quite upset with the way they handled it. I think that all this time just to announce that they're not doing it just doesn't feel right to me. So, but the thing is, sit down and hear Jay talk about Diablo 3, and to kind of look at the things he types up when he goes over his ideas for Diablo 3. For the most part, I've agreed with him for a lot of what he's done and what he's tried to do. I can't really say I disapprove with his high-level concept, at least for most of them. There are some things that I don't approve of, obviously, like we've gone over those, but for the most part, he seems to have a square head on his shoulders. But you have to remember, too, that Diablo 3 is not just a single-man game. Jay is not some dictator sitting on a throne saying, this is how Diablo is going to be. He certainly has the highest level of authority for the ideas that go through and what gets basically picked and denied, but it is still a team effort, which means some of the decisions that were made are not entirely his. It's basically a consistent consensus of what the team would like to do. Now, I certainly feel that some decisions about the game, again, were not the best that could have been made for the game. For example, the loot system was definitely poor when it came out. The idea that legendaries were so weak. I originally thought that the idea of rares being the most powerful was good because it gave you the chance for rare items to pop up that were going to be super powerful, and it was all about random loot. Well, that's all well and good, but then the legendaries proved to be really bad. I mean, really bad. It wasn't just some rares being better than legendaries, it was a lot of rares being better than legendaries. And that just didn't do at all. It's really kind of hard to go over in my mind all the different things that have happened. I just kind of have been taking Diablo as it comes. I find that that's been kind of the way to keep my enjoyment of the game, is to kind of take it as it comes, enjoy the game for what it is. So I don't want to go too in depth on this. I just kind of wanted to mention it, bring it up, and say, I kind of wish Jay the best, honestly. I think he has some good ideas in him, and I just hope that he takes his experiences with Diablo 3 and learns from them. I mean, quite honestly, that's all we can all do, right? We're all human, we all make mistakes, and I'm not even going to get into that whole debacle about his comments that were found on Facebook regarding the creators of Diablo 1 and 2 and etc. etc. That was in poor taste. Yes, that was most definitely in poor taste. But he apologized, he's moved on, and you know, I really think it was bad, but again, we're human. We're all human. When have any of us not said something that we really shouldn't have, especially in a, you know, in a public forum? It's I'm not going to make excuses for him in that. But again, I'm not really going to go super into that. That wasn't my whole intent in bringing it up. It's just to showcase that this is who we are. We're human, and as long as he's learned from his mistakes and he moves on and he's able to be successful at another project, I will wish him the best of luck there. So this means that Diablo 3 is without a director, I do believe. So that's fine though, because they still have a really good team in charge of Diablo, and I really should shut off that gosh darn Skype, shouldn't I? Considering that it's been going off a couple times. I really didn't think it was going to keep going off like that, because most people are not up right now, but it is a Saturday night. Oh well. Anyway, they still have direction. They're still trying to, you know, do things with the game. They are opening the job, both internally and externally. That is one thing about Blizzard, is they always try to find the best talent for anything that they have. So it doesn't mean that they're just going to put somebody internally into it, but it also means they're, even though they might have somebody already in mind, but they're not going to ignore any applications they get either. So there's potential here. We've got an opening, a new set of, basically to get a new set of eyes, because let's face it, Jay and crew have been on this game for quite a number of years now, and it might be a good time for someone with a new vision or new ideas, basically, to come in, take a look at things, and see what could they possibly do to shift things, to make things more interesting. And I think now is especially the right time for that, because we're getting close to when an expansion is supposed to come out. So we're really going to need that fresh set of eyes and new ideas to get a good expansion out, and to basically expand on the story, on the systems. I mean, I imagine they're going to have no problem with expanding on the story, but it's the systems in the game, obviously, that are going to mean that they're going to have to look at. What can they make better? What can they do? Can they maybe get runes back in somehow? Skill augmentations of some sort, like they were originally thinking. Talismans, who knows? I mean, these are ideas that were there before that were kind of scrapped because they didn't add anything overly unique. They were just another skill stick, as it were. I don't entirely disagree with their decision to remove them originally, because the way they were describing them is, yes, they did sound like it was just another slot to put some kind of gear into. So as long as they can make things fun and interesting, I definitely look forward to what they will do with the game going forward. So this, honestly, could be a very good time for Diablo players, Diablo fans. So we'll have to see what becomes of this. In general, though, this is a good time for action RPG lovers. I've heard recently in comments of a new game being made by the developers of Titan's Quest. We've got this Marvel Heroes game, which is an MMO style. We've got Torchlight 2 that's been out for a little while now. And we've got Path of Exile releasing into open beta this week. So, quite honestly, if you don't like Diablo 3, well, hey, look, there's a chance that it's going to have new creative direction. And there's also several other games that you can play in the meantime. Honestly, this is a very good time to be an action RPG fan. Considering how long it's been, or at least how long it's felt since there's been a good action RPG, you know, when Diablo 3 was in development, it feels good, really. It feels really good to see this. Alright. So, I wasn't expecting this. I've leveled. So maybe I should take a look at my skills and make a build, huh? So what do I have? I have Plague of Toads, Rain of Toads. Cause toads to rain from the sky that deal 130% weapon damage as poison to enemies in the area over 2 seconds. Well, that's interesting. That might make Plague of Toads a little more manageable. I didn't really care for Plague of Toads because it was very difficult to harness to get them to move where I wanted to. Explosive Toads wasn't too bad because at least they blew up and did area of effect damage. Toad of Hugeness did not care for at all, simply because it was very restrictive on what it could do, and you could only cast it once. It just didn't feel like a viable primary. Possibly more of a secondary, and even then it could only eat one enemy at a time, and they were out of combat for 5 seconds, and you couldn't really direct who you wanted it to attack. So let's take a look at this Rain of Toads. We'll see how that feels. We have here a new decay spell for Wall of Zombies. Unrelenting Grip. So for that, let's put that under here, I think, for under Hex. Let's go here. Where did you go? Wall of Zombies! Unrelenting Grip. So the Wall of Zombies will slow the movement of my enemies by 60% for 5 seconds. So that's great. That allows me to keep the enemy at bay. That is a good replacement from the looks of it from Grasp of the Dead. So let's go ahead and try that. We will put this Wall of Zombies with the Grasp in there. And we've got some other new abilities. So let's go in here and go into secondary. What do we have for Haunt? Lingering Spirit. If there are no targets left, the spirit will linger for 10 seconds, looking for new enemies. So we'll give that a shot. Haunt has had its damage increase recently, so this might not be a bad choice here. It's only 6 seconds, and it will jump from enemy to enemy, and if it doesn't have one, it'll wait for me to find another enemy, so we'll give that a shot. Any new abilities other than that? It doesn't look like it. It looks like just the Haunt, the Zombies, and the Toads. So this should be fine. So let's take a look at these Toads, shall we? Oh, beautiful. It is spammable. Look at this. I think I may have found a rune for Plague of Toads that I like. That is hilarious. 130% weapon damage is poison over 2. Huh. Alright. Alright, Lingering Spirit. Oh, okay, look at that. It lingers on me. So it doesn't just stay in a single location. So I could preemptively cast this, and then it's going to go find a target. Now, my question is, it lasts on me 10 seconds. Does it last on the enemy 10 seconds? Or is it just... Does that mean it could be perpetually refreshed by jumping between me and enemies? Let's try and find out something here. That seemed longer than 6 seconds. I have a feeling that that has increased my haunt duration here. Hello. Oh, did not mean that. Here, you. God, just look at that spam of toads. Spam of toads, that's what it should have been called. It's almost like a channeled skill, quite honestly, with the way I'm using it. That's hilarious. I like it. And then let's get a few haunts out there. This isn't too bad, honestly. Look at that. And I've got my haunt on me. Let's go get this onto another enemy. Look at that. Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. I like it. It allows me to get a bunch of haunts out there, and if the enemy dies, it comes back to me if there's not something else to jump to, and then I just lead the haunt to another enemy. That's awesome. I honestly, for some reason in my head, thought that when haunt ended, it was just going to sit there where the enemy died and wait for another enemy to come in, which, you know, can be useful, but that means you'd have to lead an enemy into the haunt. And that could be troublesome, especially when it's only 10 seconds long. So this is nice to know that the Haunt will linger on me. I can carry it. It's a very portable skill. You know, this Plague of Toads is working really nicely with my Fetish Sycophants. It's casting so quickly that I've, as you can see, I've actually got quite a few of them. This build is working out pretty good, honestly. Probably wouldn't be the final build I would eventually choose, but this... I was honestly not thinking that these skills were going to work this well together. Because, like, the zombies and the toads actually work out in a nice combination here. I slow the enemies down with the wall of zombies, and then I just pelt them with the toads, and of course the Haunt's going out all the while. So here I can just kind of put that down. Just put out a few of these. Oh, let's get out of that. I need dogs. Do you like dogs? What? Oh, dogs. Yeah, I like dogs. Brownie points if you get that reference. Alright, not bad, not bad. About the only thing I could really ask for here would be just some kind of actual hard-hitting ability, I guess. Something to feel like I can nuke with, but that's really not what this build is about. This is more almost akin to the damage over time builds I was making before. Oh. Haha, I can go invisible. Sorry, Charlie. Charlie! Candy Mountain! Sunshine and rainbows! Happy thoughts! Death to the unicorns! Oh my goodness. This level really does something to my psyche. It's all happy and cheerful, and I get to kill things. Oh, look at that! Unicorn meat everywhere. It's just, oh, splattered all across the... You know, for as shiny and happy as this place is, it certainly is disturbing. I kind of think this place is the most disturbing place in the entire game. So, interesting thing about this stage here, and many of you probably already heard this at this point, is the background music is of course played backwards, which gives it that even more disturbed feeling and sound. The background music when played forward is actually a piece, I believe, called Le Gibbet, which is a medley meant to be played, if I recall correctly, because forgive me because it's been a while since I actually looked this information up. I had planned to do a video on it and never got around to doing it. But it was a piece designed to be played for a poem that was about hanged bodies on the gallows. So yeah, this level in context, when you consider what the background song actually means, and in contrast to what you're seeing, that makes this place really disturbing. This is like Hitchcockian, really. I'm not gonna say it's like M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Sorry, this is not what the twist. This is just disturbing. Seriously disturbing. Happy clouds. Happy clouds. Really? And they drop loot. This is fantastic. I'm mesmerized by the fact that this build is working this well. Rain of Toads here, really, is a skill I've been looking forward to getting because I wanted to know exactly how it worked. And it works far better than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be one of those things where I cast it and then I can't cast it again, kind of like the Toad of Hugeness. When you cast that, you are not able to cast another one until the first one goes away. But here you can see I'm kind of spamming them on top of each other. And as you can see, they both will fall when I cast more than one. They cast very quickly, and the ones I originally summoned keep going. And this is a primary skill, which means its mana cost is only 10. The mana cost is exceptionally low for what this skill can do. Now, the damage isn't super high, 130, but when you consider that I'm stacking this damage... hold on. I was opening a cloud and I didn't mean to. Okay. Yeah, this place is tough on Monster Power 10, just FYI. I'm having to kind of rely on my pets. As you can see, my Templar has gone down quite a bit here. Fight, Templar, fight! Do not let the ponies kill you! Do not give in! Slaughter Twilight Sparkle and her friends! Happiness. I had fun once. It was awful. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, it's a narrow AoE, really, from the looks of it. It's got a very narrow focus and field to it, but because it's spammable and because I can kind of get multiple targets on it, as you can see, it's actually doing a pretty good amount of damage here, and then I can just combine it with the Haunt. Yeah, I like it. This is working out nicely. I'm still using my defensive build, as you can tell, with the dogs. They're using lifelink. I've got my Gargantuan, of course. I find this to be almost a necessity right now until I can get better gear and either kill quicker or maybe get a different build that's going to feel like it can handle taking on monsters without a shield. Right now, I really need this shield of my pets and, of course, the Templar. Well, this level is coming to a close. This has been Whimsyshire with the Witch Doctor, Monster Power 10 on normal. Is that voodoo that you do?
Thank you for helping me fight the darkness. To contend with evil is the essence of what it means to be a
Hey, Cormac, I got news for you. There's not a lot of darkness here. It's disturbing, but it's not dark. This is where the rabbit hole goes, Alice. Alright, let's just kind of finish this off. We've gone this far. Let's just keep going. Their health just keeps draining, doesn't it? I'm really glad they increase the survivability of pets, because my pets are dying so much that I'm afraid they'd be completely useless prior to that pet buff that they gave us. You know, they can only take, what, like a third of their health in a single hit now? Compared to before. And then they've got AoE reduction as far as damage is concerned, I believe. So yeah, if they didn't have that, I'm afraid these pets would be completely useless. So thank you very much for these changes to the game. See, that's the one thing, you know, as much as this game had issues when it came out, and as much as it still has issues, they are at least still working on it. And they are making great strides to make this game so much better than what it was. But I definitely think they need to get a little more transparency, because this waiting 7 months to find out they're scrapping Team Deathmatch just won't do. Will not do. Will not stand. Alright then, that's it. That's Whimsyshire. We're done here. So then... Oh wait, no! Haha! It appears we're slightly off. I actually have a little path over this way. with a flower and a pot of gold. Ah, a pot of gold. A little bit of luck there. Okay, that's it. That's finally it. And we can see I got a fair amount of items. Actually, only one rare, though. What a shame. That's my staff of hurting there. Rare dagger with dex and intelligence. That's not too bad, actually. It's got protection, less damage. However, I could easily put in a regular ruby. Let's see. Let's put in a regular ruby. Let's see. There we go. 84 damage. How nice. That might work because it's got intelligence on it. I lose the attack speed. I lose the critical damage. Could very well work. Okay. Anything else good? Let me see. Templar, you have a weapon of 45. And that's 33. Not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use that and get rid of this. Crossbow. Magic staff. Magic staff. I'm not going to use staves at this point. Not at this juncture. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Look at this. Life, protection. That is not bad. Considering the damage I'm taking on Monster Power 10, I may want to do it. I could use the damage, but I could also use the protection. Let us do that for now, and we'll see how things go. This is my favorite thing right here, a socketed ring. Really. You get that even in Inferno. Seriously. Item level 60 rings with a single socket. I don't understand the logic. I do not. I think it's crazy. Alright, it doesn't look like there's much else here. There's a helm with strength in it, but that's not worth using, I don't think. Here we have a socketable item. Mojo. No thank you. Mojo. Jojo. Oh, here we go. Some gloves with massive intelligence. Gives me additional damage and nearly a percentage of protection, even though I lose the 630 life. That, I think the life will be worth the transition into protection, especially since it increases damage. There we go. That's it. That is what we got from Whimsyshire, and we got 3 pages of jewel crafting. Didn't get a single page of blacksmithing, oddly enough. So it looks like I won't be able to craft anything really worthwhile. I suppose this means I could actually move on to flawless gems, since I need the pages for those. We'll look at that. That would only really replace... Well, no, I've got one here. I'm already using a flawless in that, actually, so... Yeah, I'm already there, pretty much. So I will probably replace this ruby and this ruby here, especially to get more experience as we move along in the series. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this supplemental Witch Doctor / vlog for me here. So, look forward to moving on, and I will see you guys next time.